Jared Poland, Fro knows photo.com, and it's time for another quick tip, and the quick tip is brought to you by Allen's Camera, allenscamera.com. Check it out for some good deals, some used stuff. Used stuff is great to buy. That's where I get all my gear, and I've gotten it for the past 10 years. So what is this quick tip? This quick tip is about how I change my lenses in the field, or really how I change my lenses at all time, plus some tips for doing it. Now, this is my way of doing it. If you have a different way of doing it, then feel free to share that in the comments section. But before we even get started, why don't I put a lens on there? The camera is off. Keep that in mind, because I'm going to mention that quite a bit. So here we go. I've got a lens on here. Boom, it's locked in. How do I change the camera? How do I change the lens? Am I afraid to change lenses? No, I'm not afraid to change lenses in the field. I change all the time. I go from one picture to the next, one lens to the next lens to the next lens, back to this lens again, because I'm looking for something. So I'm not afraid to change in the field, but I do take some steps to make sure that I'm not going to get dust or anything in the camera, but it's going to happen no matter what. I know there's people out there that have two cameras and put two lenses on them, and they're scared to change. They think so much dust is going to get in there, it's going to ruin their pictures. You know, the way I shoot it, the 2.8s and the 1.8s and things like that, you're going to get a lot less dust there. But here's how I do this. Proper procedure. Turn the camera off. By turning the camera off, there's no more power going to the sensor. So there's no like electric charge going, and then static could possibly draw dust in. So what do? I point the camera down, and then I take the lens off. I put it down. I take the other lens cap from the new lens that I'm putting on, pop it onto the other one. Camera still face down, and I lock the lens in. So the whole time the camera is off and it's facing down. The reason it's facing down is I don't want, if anything is inside, I don't want the particles to go and fall in, because I'm going like this. I want the particles to fall out. So that's a good rule of thumb to keep in mind. If the wind is blowing, put your back to the wind and get the camera in closer to you so that there's no wind or dust that could possibly fly in from there. That's something good. Turn your back. So we got turn the camera off, hold the camera down, put the lens on. When you have to take it off, if it's raining, well, raining's a whole different subject. You definitely want to keep the camera down because you don't want to get rain inside. I would quickly go like this, put the cap back on. I may not even make sure that it's sealed until I get this other lens on. Then I reach over here and tighten this one up. I don't have that extra cap with me. Usually it's in the bag somewhere, but I just switch one cap to the next cap to the next cap because there's going to be one lens on the camera at all times. So really, the simple quick tip is turn your camera off. Hold the camera down. Put your back away from the wind. You don't want the wind blowing into the camera. You don't want to be like, hey, it's windy. Hey, look, hey, here's my camera, wind. Why don't you get some dust in me? You don't want to do that. You want to keep it down, away from all the elements, especially if it's raining. Just make sure it's down. I mean, to me, it's pretty simple, and I'm not afraid to, like I said, I'm not afraid to make changes in the field. Even I was shooting the rain a little while ago at a concert. I didn't worry too much about the lenses. I wanted to cover them as quick as possible, but I also didn't want to have the camera up like this, or at any point, if you don't have a lens on there, you want to always have the body cap on and make sure that that is snug and on and the camera stays off. So that's about it for the quick tip. Just don't be afraid to change your lenses. Dust's going to get in no matter what, but these are the precautions that I take to make sure that I'm, putting the best foot forward so none of that does happen. Make sure the camera's off, put the camera down, stay away from the wind, cover up the lenses when you're not using them. I know that some people leave the backs off of them when they're in their bag. That's not me. If you're going to leave them off, just loosen it a little bit and put it on so that at least it's protected. Then pop one on. Here we go. Look. Boom. Like this. Boom. It's covered. Put this lens on and we're good to go. And that is your quick tip brought to you by Allen's Camera. Jared Poland, Fro knows photo.com. See ya.